You know you've waited all week for it. It's that time once again for the hottest selling cards in Magic. This is your Hot Top 10. The money just keeps moving along. It goes further down the road to the next train station. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks for hanging out with me today for another Hot Top 10 video this week. That's right, the hottest selling cards in Magic this week from May 7th to the 13th of 2022, and the money train just keeps moving along. We loved Kamigawa. Kamigawa is amazing. Bozuju didn't even crack the list. Otawara is nowhere to be found. There wasn't enough sales together to make the Hot Top 10. And that means Streets of New Capenna is ruling everything right now. Or is it? That's right. Maybe there's a few surprises on the list this week to get you going. Let's find out. Let's check this out. Let's go ahead and start our journey down from number 10 to number 1, because this is your Hot Top 10. We're going all the way back to 2014 and Khans of Tarkir this week with Bloodstained Mire. At number 10 with 424 sales this week, May 7th to the 13th of 2022. This card needs a reprint. I know Wizards isn't going to put it in a standard set. They're only using specialty products, secret layer type stuff, but they've got to print it more often so players have access to it. Since it's legal in Commander, a lot of players want to get their hands on this stuff, and the price is a bit of a breaking point for a mana base. When I see this as an average price of $39.88, the market price is $36.02 US, a foil is $63.31 US, and it's €28.05 to get this card into your house. Here in Canada, you're looking around $50 Canadian to buy this card. $100 if you want to get your hands on a foil. I remember buying these for $5 and $6 a piece back in 2014, building up thousands of copies and selling them as giant allotments and clearing 40 to 50% profit on the entire allotment. I made a lot of money doing this, but I wish I'd held on to a few extra, because this kind of price cap, this kind of price break for people is just killer. I have friends who actually don't have copies. I looked around. I only got one copy that I put into my Commander deck, and I have a few specialty copies which I'm not willing to trade off. So that is brutal. I hope it gets a reprint soon. Come on, Wizards, you can do this. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 9 this week, and that is going to be Arid Mesa from Modern Horizons 2. With an average price of $17.99, this card has really dipped down and made itself available to the player base, and I like that. It's still around that $20 mark for Americans, Canadians to get it. Canadians, I guess it's around $24 Canadian, but 4 of these is still about $100. That's fine, but it can be used in red and white decks all over the place. After you have a playset of 4, you really don't need more than that, and you can interchange them between your decks. The market price is $14.74. A foil is $21.97 US. And guys, I am using the Modern Horizons 2 version. There were other copies that sold in different versions. I could have added them all up, but it seemed fitting to leave it the way it is right now, because that's what I've been doing for all the other things I've added to the Hot Top 10 lists. Now, for overseas, you're looking at €15.18 to get this card into your house. Again, still very affordable, guys. But if this card doesn't get a reprint in the next, 20 months, again, it's going to start creeping up, because Modern Horizons 2 is not really getting cracked right now. If they don't add it to another block being put out into a specialty product, that price is not going to stay there, and that makes it into the flip territory, because it'll head up to around the $30 mark, and anyone who got this cheap can flip it for a 30 to 40% profit. Keep that in mind if you're an investor out there. So, all right, we're checking out our next card today, and that is going to be the Stomper from Streets of New Capenna. I like this card. The fact it goes and fetches land is awesome. You put him in the battlefield tapped, and there's ways to unsummon this guy and bring him back into play and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. And he's a 4/4 for 3 with vigilance. I love the card. He's a buck. He's a $1.50, $2 in Canada. The average is $1 US. The market's less than $1. A foil is $1.30 US, and it's less than 50 euro to get that card to your house. Come on, he's very affordable. 891 sales. But I think he may trend up as high as a couple of bucks if he sees a lot of play in a lot of decks. So keep an eye on him. I want to see where he heads. I'll be following him closely over the next few weeks to see how he ends up in Standard. All right, Ziatora's Proving Ground. Now, when we're talking about all these triomes from Streets of New Capenna, I want to get this here. I'm not fond of the names that much. I wish they had said triome. It's a personal pet peeve, but I like to say it. I like to put it out there so people know where I stand. I don't have a problem with a boxing ring, I guess. It kind of fits the theme of what they're doing in the 1930s. I like some of the artwork on this land better than others. This is not one of my favorites, but not all of the Triumphs are on the list this week. Some just didn't quite make the cut, which is interesting, but some are on here. So this one had 991 sales this week, which means people are finding good uses for this combination of land. The average is $8.99 US. The market is $7.41 US. A foil's $10. That's very reasonable. And it's €9.39 to get this card in your house. It's around $16 Canadian for this card, but it is sold out currently locally. So keep that in mind, guys. Until we get a lot more product kind of flushed into the market, we're not going to see a lot of extra overstock sitting around. And if the money market machine keeps moving on to the next product, which is what we're seeing even with Kamigawa, things have already moved on and people aren't opening it anymore and people aren't desiring the cards as much because they've moved on. With this quick of a rotation, you're going to see prices spike more quickly than was expected before. I am trying to track it now to get more information for people on my Patreon, so stay tuned for that, guys. Now, number 6 this week is Spara's Headquarters. Again, another desirable card with 1,003 sales this week from the 7th to the 13th of May 2022. $9.45 US is the average. The market is $8.61 US. A foil is $9.99 US, and it's €9.54 to get that card to your house. $14 Canadian, but of course it is sold out again locally. So I'm waiting to see if more hits the market. I've hit up my stores for the information. We'll see what they say going forward. Desirable cards, guys. People want them. They want to get them out of the way and move on to the next thing. So they're buying their play sets of 4 and calling it a day. And since you only get between draft boxes, I've seen as high as 4, I've seen as low as 2 now. So there's not that many inside these boxes when you compare it to what Ikoria had inside of it. So interesting to see how they've realized the value and made it a little bit more difficult to get. All right, number 5 this week is going to be the Undercover Operative from Streets of New Capenna. 1,182 sales. This clone wannabe comes in with a shield counter, a limited form of regeneration, which makes him awesome because he can clone anything on the battlefield, and that can be a lot of fun. 1,182 sales is very respectable, and again, he's really cheap, guys. He's less than $1 US. The market's like 20-something cents. A foil's like 50 cents. This guy is going to be used up and abused, and he's not going to be expensive. He's out there. A great card to add to a lot of people's decks. People recognize it. They know they can pick up a play set for a couple of dollars and call it a day. Although when you're going to your local store, you'll see this card's about $2 still, which means you might want to hit things up like TCG Iron Place, TCG Player, and other sites like that where you can get it a little bit cheaper and maybe order a few extra cards to cover that shipping cost they're going to charge the $5.99. And of course, if you're shopping there, don't forget to use my TCG affiliate link. The channel gets a kickback, which means more cards for the channel. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at number 4 this week, and that is going to be nixilis, the adversary. I've seen this guy a lot on Arena. I've got to be honest, he is seeing a lot of play. People copying him, duplicating him, putting him out there, and just like nailing people down with the life loss. It is pretty brutal. 1,273 sales this week, and look at that price range, everyone. $29.15 is the average. He's around $50 here in Canada, by the way, depending on the version you're going for. The market is $25.66 US. A foil is $32.42 US. A little bit more of a disparity in price. I like that. I wish it was like 35, but it's a little bit better. And it's €30.48 to get this card into your house. Remember, cards that see a lot of play get eaten up by the market quicker, driving that price forward. But if we see more opened, you might see that price fall. When I did my collector box openings, me and, you know what, Mark, we didn't see any in either of our boxes. Okay, those were collector boxes, so it's not that common to see this bad boy in a box. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 3, and that is going to be Soul Ring. Comes swooping out saying, look at me. I am still special, and every single commander deck has me in it, so worship me. 1,451 sales this week, May 7th to the 13th. And look, guys, this is one of those cards that's everywhere. It's an auto-include, which is why so many people think it should be banned, as I'm starting to learn in Commander. But I still think it's a cool style factor to get some of the unique versions of that card. The average price is $1.82 US. The market is $1.45 US. And it's €1.11 to get this card in your house. It's around $2.50 Canadian for a copy of Soul Ring. I like to have the bling copies, so I'll go for an unlimited or a collector edition one just to make it look special inside the deck. I can't help myself. You got to make your commander deck look, kind of stand out a little bit. but lots of sales, and it's a cheap card to get for anyone looking to get it. So here we are, guys. We are down to the number 2 slot this week, and that is an offer you can't refuse. And I can't underrate this card. It's amazing, okay? Streets of New Capenna gave us a card that's just amazing. I've even countered my own spells before. So, countering a target non-creature spell, you get a couple of treasure tokens. Amazing. For 1. I've countered giant spells that would have killed me, and then they just get a couple of treasure tokens. You're like, you didn't kill me. The average price is $2. I see this card going the way of Deadly Dispute. There are people buying copies of this and holding on to it, knowing it's probably going to go up in price. Right? Things are going to rotate out. This is going to be a premier spell to have around. If you don't have a playset now, I definitely recommend getting a playset of 4 and getting it out of the way. It isn't uncommon. It's not going to be hard to get yet, but the money moves on, and then price like this will start to surge up. It had 2,183 sales this week, guys. That is huge for the number 2 card. That is massive. That is not normally how the number 2 card goes. Usually number 2 is in the 1,700 range. So this is a lot more copies than I'm used to seeing sell, and I can see why it's happening. It's just such an effective spell to use. So amazing. A 1-drop? Come on. All right, guys, you've held on this long. We are now jumping in to the number 1 card this week, and that is going to be the Ledger Shredder. Kind of surprised. 2,716 sales. I'll be honest. I had to look up the combos to go with this card so I understood what people were talking about. But yes, conniving is going to be a great mechanic in the game. I can see some of the combos. You can look them up online. I don't want to drag the video out too long today going through it. But let's face it, it's a 2 casting cost bird. Whenever you play your second spell, it gets to connive. It's an amazing card. I used it inside my deck when I did the pre-release, I remember. I didn't actually use his ability, but he's still a 1/3 flyer, which makes him nice for blocking as well. Now, the average price is $12.25 US. The market price is $12.59 US. A foil is $14.60, a little too close. And it's €2.76 to get this card in your house. You notice that disparity in price? You ever think somebody here is buying them up in the North American side and just kind of hoarding massive amounts? Keep an eye on this card, just like Otawara. This card was as low as like a couple of bucks, guys. And look where it's headed now. It is number 1. I mean, when you're talking about cards like this, and we see the spread, the money's always moving on. It's constantly churning and burning. And when it churns and burns too fast, which is what Wizards is doing, like the products are coming out too quickly, people's money only goes so far, especially with what we got going on in the world. So we're seeing a slowdown on certain cards because as people don't open new product, they go to the next product because they have limited money. The products that get left behind that people still want, the price starts to creep up really quickly. Because it's supply and demand. If there's not enough supply and the demand is high, people can charge a lot more money. Keep an eye on that. If there's cards you want, get them and get them fast when they first drop out or when you see it at a price that you consider acceptable. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. This is your Hot Top 10. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the Reserve List Hot Top 10. And of course, the live stream on Sunday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you all there. Have a great one. Hey guys, a big shout out to all the fantastic patrons on this channel who support me each and every day. Patrons make the world go round, and you deserve that respect. Thanks again, everyone. See you on Sunday. This one's for one of the patrons, Niren. I gotta open this bad boy up at some point next week and put a video out on MetaZoo. And this is Wilderness. I can't wait to crack it open. It kind of looks like Pokemon, right? I'm gonna crack this bad boy out, and then I'll be shipping it out to him. But I'm gonna have to learn a little bit about MetaZoo this weekend. I think I'm gonna do some research, maybe. Maybe it's just better if I don't know absolutely anything. I know, right? I'm talking about MetaZoo. It's so weird, isn't it, everyone? Well, you know what? It's okay, because you made it to the end of the video. You're still here as I'm talking about MetaZoo, which I really don't know anything about. Well, spoils of the hunt. Hard to believe that D&D will be rotating out before you know it. So, spoils of the hunt is going in the 10K box. You know I'll be opening some MetaZoo at some point soon. And we're going to have a great Saturday because I got to hang out with you guys for a little bit. And I know that's good. And I already finished my coffee. Already gone. Brutal. I need another one now. Overly caffeinated Canadian here. What can I say? Guys, have an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope your Saturday is as awesome as it can be. I'll see you guys soon.